Welcome to another episode of Drunk Cop and a Teacher, the podcast where everything's made up and our comments don't matter, just like the results of the Scarlett Johansson Disney lawsuit.
Yep.
Doesn't matter because they officially never said anything about what the result was. All they said was, we fixed it.
I told you they're gonna settle out of court. I'm not gonna tell anybody shit. Of course not.
I'm glad not the only one that couldn't find an actual article of like what they settled for.
There were a couple of ones floating around where I think one of them mentioned that they were trying to sue for $50 million in damages. I mean, but that's just like one part of it. I don't know if they asked for more than that for some other reason. But then there was one that said that they settled at 40 million, but that wasn't official confirmed. That was just something like an insider said, like that's what they got. I'm like 40 and 50, really? Like that's what you're stopping at? Like we do realize it's Disney here. like 40 and 50 is just stuff they can get out of their car. Like that's just going like under the seat. There it is. There's the $50 million.
More likely
Yeah,
they laughed. They laughed. They're like, 50? Really? Okay, no
Suckers.
They probably spend more of that on the court fees. Shit.
Well, who? Scarlett Johansson or
Both?
No.
I don't fucking know.
They the way
I'm
that
sure
they pay
Disney's lawyers are very expensive.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time they pay them with Disney tickets.
Ah, okay. Well, they're up there now, so yeah.
Yeah.
Forget Disney. It's all about Universal now.
Nah, I'm doing SeaWorld.
What the fuck?
What? They give you free booze, man. I gotta say
Free
shout out.
booze, free Shamu.
All right,
What?
venturing on from there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 2 weeks. We took a break last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we went on vacation. Well,
Wait,
Ham
Mike.
literally went on vacation.
I did go.
Technically
I
I
just-
went on vacation.
And I'm going on
Technically.
vacation tomorrow.
Where are you going now?
Chicago and Wisconsin. That's why I don't know if I'm able to watch the next movie.
That's fair. Wait,
Uh,
Mike, where did you go?
So our buddy
Yeah.
Randy, he moved out of Florida.
Yeah, you told us this.
Yeah.
You road tripped up there.
Who
Yeah,
the
road
fuck is
trip
Randy?
up there.
Did you go
wait,
back
did
up
I,
there? You
Wait,
said
did
this
I mention that?
Yeah, you said this last episode.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm lost. I'm tired.
Oh God.
See, I enjoyed my week off because I needed to rest my voice after that last episode because I strained it bad and I couldn't really talk for a while.
Wow.
Like I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know if you guys went back and heard it, but like it sounded like I was hurting and it felt worse. Trust me. So
Whoa, after our
Drink some
episode,
hot cocoa.
after our last episode, I worked for 10 days straight. Like, so I was working, I was busy, and I'm exhausted. I mean, finally
Yeah.
on Saturday and Sunday, but like, still though, I feel like I still need a couple days off.
Yeah, I felt like I worked 10 straight days, aka drank for 10 straight days.
Jesus
all right,
Christ.
listeners, we got plenty to talk about here. Nothing much major in the world of headlines. There's two I'll bring up before we start talking about our movies, but we are gonna first discuss Squid Game. And then we are going to, well, Ham and I are going to talk a little bit about the What If Marvel series.
Yeah.
And I got
Mike
a couple.
Well, I was going to say Mike doesn't care enough about it.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I
I
don't,
guess
I
not.
I don't care for it. But I got a couple
Wow.
other things that I did watch.
We'll get to the catching up bit.
Maybe.
I'm just trying to lay out the agenda for people. And then we'll end it with, of course, the most recent Marvel / Sony movie, which is the Venom Let There Be Carnage,
Oh,
which broke a weekend record. I think it earned $90 million in the box office for the weekend.
Really?
Yeah, so there's a lot of hype around there from well, to be honest, really just one reason, but
Number one movie of all year.
we'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when we get there.
Speaking of getting there, Mike, how has your 2 weeks been?
So besides working nonstop and everything, I was able to watch some shows. So I'm going to talk about that. The first show that I
Alright.
finished watching was Sex Education.
Oh, I'm actually whoa. Yeah, I halfway-ish.
Halfway, okay, I finished it. Really good. I would say towards the end, it slowed down. The beginning was really. When it got towards the middle, it went down from there. Still funny season. They did announce season 4, so I can't wait to see
Nice.
what else they do. I finally saw Money Heist.
Oh yeah.
Um, I finally like, well, the new season, because I'm fully caught up. So I'm fully
Oh
caught
yeah.
up
I
on
was
that
thinking
one.
about that other movie I saw. No, no, no. That's the show. I'm not watching that.
Oh, gotcha. So and then it was good. I'm not gonna say anything spoilers. But I will say I will do a little rant towards my end of whatever I'm doing right here. Um, and then I saw a movie called The Guilty.
Oh, I saw that
With
too.
You
Wait,
saw
what's
that
that
too?
one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
He's
Oh, I
a
did see a picture
yes.
for that. So,
It's he's a 911 operator, and a lady calls that she has been kidnapped by her by somebody. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I liked it a lot. I like how it was suspenseful. Jake Gyllenhaal is just an amazing actor. Green card for me, at least. I don't know what will you give it, Sal.
Well, I guess if I'm gonna just jump on board with this one, then I liked it a lot. Yeah, I would give it a green card too. The way I see this movie, how Ryan Reynolds wasn't buried. Like it definitely
Hmm.
just spotlights his
oh,
acting skills, and like it just like he has some serious range and all the stuff that he's going through in the entire movie, and it's like buried in where it's only one setting. You only have like this like office setting where there's like two rooms that he goes in between, but even then like there's other people involved, but you don't really they're not I'm not going to say they're not important because their transitions are important, but like it's really just focused conversations with all these people, very much like Ryan Reynolds when he was in the movie Buried. It's all like it's just him and his agony that he's going through and his conversations with the people he's trying to get a hold of through his phone. I liked it a lot, and I liked a
Yeah.
little bit of the twist that it had there towards the end where
Hmm.
like I mean, I don't. Maybe you thought it was predictable. I didn't think it was predictable. And like, I started kind
I'm
of
gonna watch it.
piecing things together when they started talking about the kids, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like something's really up here." And it was good. I liked it from beginning to end.
Yeah,
I,
really good. Same
I
thing.
also give it a green card because for some reason I knew that movie is gonna have a twist. Just the way you were talking about it, I'm like probably twist, right? And then you said it, I'm like okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then Doctor Strange shows up
Right.
at the end and says, "We need you."
Oh
Yeah.
no, Doctor Strange goes back. It's like where we're going. We don't need superheroes.
I don't
Yeah,
know. You're fucking up with the spell. Mm.
yeah.
So that happened, and then there was another thing that I watched. Oh man, I
Oh, you're
think.
pulling a ham.
Oh
Don't pull
my
a ham.
god!
Uh
Oh my
huh.
god! Oh
See,
my god! Oh my
see.
god! Okay, for now, I think I just saw those three things. And of course, Squid Game. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, other than that, it's been a very um pretty relaxing week for me. That wasn't a vacation, but still, I was able to watch some shows that I was a little behind on. Now I fully watched it. So take the wheel.
All right, and
Um,
before you go though, I'm gonna limit you to your top three things that you watch, not like the
Okay,
top 300 things.
okay.
Only in the top major
I
three
didn't.
significant things that you
I
watch,
I didn't watch
whether it's a
much.
movie or a series.
All right.
So go.
Okay. All right. So I listened to just okay, this doesn't count because I'm going off of Mike's thing, so this one doesn't count. I did watch season 3 of Sex Education. I think the last episode I saw was the probably the best one. I don't know about the whatever last two or whatever how many episodes left, but the bus one when they go to Paris.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Hmm.
really good one. That that bathroom scene. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Uh,
terrible.
I did start watching the Lost Symbol, which is on Peacock. Which, yeah,
Is that the
uh,
Dan Brown based one?
yes, yes, yes,
Oh
yes.
man, it's a series or a movie?
It's a series. This was the book before the last movie in theaters with Tom Hanks.
Hanks,
So
yeah.
this book came out. I've actually read the book. This one was before, and I think I already know the twists because I think they're going almost exactly how the book went. So
Okay.
we'll see. Whereas the last movie with Tom Hanks did not go the same way. So I didn't read that book and didn't watch the movie just because I haven't
That
read the
was
book.
Angels and Demons.
Yes, Angels and
Yeah,
Demons.
because Da Vinci Code was the first one,
Yeah.
and then Angels and Demons was did that book
Oh
come
no,
out first or did it come
then
out
the third
after?
no, then the third movie then. There's a third one.
No, I think it's just those two.
No, there's what is it called?
There's Da
Uh
Vinci Code and there's Angels and Angels and Demons is a prequel to the Da Vinci Code. The
no,
Lost
there
Symbol, I thought it's still with the same character, right?
uh the Lost no well, same character of course, but not
Yeah, so
not Tom
Lost
Hanks.
Symbol, I think Lost Symbol in the book wise is actually the sequel to Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, no, it was it Inferno? I think it was.
I don't think they ever did that movie though. I think Inferno came out much later though, book wise.
They made
Okay,
yeah,
anyway, yeah, anyway.
Inferno
Is it good? Yes or no?
2016.
Is it good? Yes or
2016.
no?
Uh, we'll see. I just watched the first episode. I'll
Okay.
be waiting for the second one. But yes, Inferno came out in 2016. That was the last one.
Okay.
What else? What else? What else?
One more thing.
That's right. One
One
more
more
thing.
thing. I don't even think I have a one more thing. Maybe. Let me think. Really quick. I watch a lot of things on fucking. I watched this show called Squid Games.
Oh, okay, my turn. All right, so Guilt.
History in the book.
We already
Short
talked.
is.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was
That
two
actually is the
technically.
shortest. That is
No,
actually the shortest he's ever talked
no,
about
no.
anything he's
Technically, it was
watched.
one thing because he brought up that
No,
and
too late.
Squid. I brought one
Too
thing.
late.
It was.
All
I don't
right,
have anything else.
so we already talked about Guilty. I did watch that. I didn't
Oh
watch
wait, I
anything
saw
else.
Venom.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch anything else major beyond our homework assignment. I did watch the second episode of The Toys That Made Us. That was the Power Rangers one, which
Yes.
was pretty good. I think I liked the Ninja Turtles one. I think that one was more interesting than the Power Rangers one. I don't think I'm gonna watch the rest though because I don't have any interest in the toys that they're talking about. I think
Yeah.
episode 3 was My Little Pony, and I think the only reason I would watch that is maybe if my daughter wants to watch it. Otherwise, I never collected My Little Pony, so it's like, nah, this has no meaning to me. Um, the only thing that I did want to kind of briefly bring up was I don't know if you guys remember like kind of hearing about this when we talked about the Disney presentation where they were like talking about all their series that are coming up. There was an animated series that they talked about developing that's finally out. So this was like I think a couple years in the making. Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Now this is a Disney Junior show, so Ham, it's for the kids.
For the
Uh,
kids.
this one is like this one focuses on Spider-Man, Miles, and Ghost Spider Gwen, basically,
Yeah.
as a team. But like they're all like legitimately kids, and it doesn't follow obviously like your traditional Spider-Man storyline. It's very much like if these guys were like in middle school maybe or less
Like
than
the
that.
Muppet Babies.
And then yeah, kind of like the Muppet Babies. Actually,
Yeah.
that's a good comparison. So it's kind of like that. And like the first, like I think in the second episode or something like that, it's like Black Panther's already in there. And then you got Hulk and you got Miss Marvel. This the theme song's catchy, so that's a plus. And the show's comprised of like 2 episodes per show per episode. So
Wait, what?
it's like 2 15-minute episodes within one episode.
Oh, like back in the day with Garfield and friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
It is actually surprisingly really good. Like I in the mentality of the kids, I find it very satisfying that it still follows a lot of the same like consistency with the themes of Spider-Man and what it means to be Spider-Man and like how Miles stands out as his own unique character, just like the way Miles is represented in all the other media. And same thing with Spider-Gwen. Because I really thought it was just gonna be like this super cheesy, like like oh gun ho and everything. Like these kids are just gonna do whatever. But no, it follows like every classic bit of these characters from like the comic books to this show. And then I just thought it was really, really good. I just think like if someone's out there as a dad and is a Spider-Man fan, they might want to watch this with the kids.
That's like
Just
one
saying, it's
person.
worth it. Shut up. My son is obsessed with this show. I swear to God, he has not stopped watching this ever since it came out on Disney Plus. and he's like rewatched. So, like, there's only 12 episodes, so technically 24, I guess. But he's watched them all over and over and over again. He almost memorized the entire theme song too.
Really?
So yeah, he is like overly obsessed with this show. So it's really cool because I mean that's like my bonding time with him. Like we'll just sometimes sit on the couch and just watch it. But I think it's really good, and I'm glad. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I was really kind of dreading it because I was like, oh, this is gonna be like that stupid what is it, the one I hated, the Ultimate Spider-Man on Disney I think it was
I
on
never
Disney.
saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, I hated that one, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be the same thing. And no, it's way
The
better than that.
Deadpool episode is the best one, though.
Oh, you're one of those people.
But I was gonna ask you where it's on, but I see that it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so it was on Disney. It's on the Disney Junior channel, and then because it aired early August, and then now finally after a while they put up the first set of episodes on Disney Plus.
And how do they have Spider-Man?
What? What do you
How
mean?
does Disney have Spider-Man?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they have the rights to the cartoon version. I don't know. Like,
Maybe. Yeah, I don't.
yeah, I don't know how that
Ever.
works. But
Okay.
okay, so I think that's pretty much it because I don't think I've seen. I feel like I watched something else, just like you guys.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I watched something else, but I don't know for sure. But we
Yeah.
got three things to talk about, and as we've already mentioned, let's talk about the two headlines I have here first. Actually, really just one, interesting one because I just saw this right before we started recording. I was like, oh, this would be interesting to discuss. So one headline really quick before we talk about Squid Game. The headline goes, Los Angeles movie theaters will soon require proof of vaccination. The rule kicks in next month. So apparently the Los Angeles
Hmm.
City Council has voted to require proof of vaccination at movie theaters as well as other venues beginning next month. It was a vote of 11-2, and well, I mean that's pretty much it because then they go on and talking about the whole pandemic and then the success
Yeah.
of theaters and everything. But I
Right.
am curious if this will kind of echo throughout the rest of the nation.
Um, I'm
No.
not too sure. I'm not too sure. I'm going to say no to it because at this point, a lot of theaters are already open, and of course, states who are very high on the counts of COVID, like us in Florida, where we're
Florida.
fucking, we're pretty much what number fucking one, you know.
One or two, yeah.
Yeah, one or two, and the thing is,
Number one.
the thing is
Number
here,
one.
like people still to this day find things to become political about it for some reason. They want to fucking play the political card on the fucking virus, and then they're gonna say like, no, it's my privacy, it's my, and stuff like that. So California, I mean, that's their state, so they could try for it to work, but I think it's gonna backlash because a lot of people are going to feel some
Mm.
type of way.
Mm.
That's just the way humans are, unfortunately. Some humans.
Ham, thoughts?
I don't think so. I mean, he's right about especially Florida, but there- I assume most of them are struggling. Actually, in Atlanta, I don't think they're even open yet. Uh, but there's so many different there's movie companies that we have around town. One of them's gonna just be like, nah, we don't care. Uh, but they are struggling, and to put that restriction for them to, yeah, no, I mean, I'm all for it, but I don't see it happening. Let's say nationwide. This on your side. But especially in Florida, I mean, we have what Regal, AMC. I don't even know if Cobb's a thing. Cinemark or Cinemax or whatever they're all called. I don't think all of them are gonna unite and be like, we're gonna do this together. So
Nah, of course not. Especially the movie theater that I go to. It gets packed. Like I'll say this for Venom, it was pretty much almost a sold out show.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
same
had
here.
two. I had two other people, but this was at 3 on a Tuesday. So
Oh
Oh
man,
yeah,
yeah.
you're not gonna get anybody.
I honestly I wish I had time to even go to the movie theaters at that time because
Uh,
I honestly was I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable. So I mean it will be awesome for them to do that and for
Mm,
people to actually in a perfect world to follow the rules and everything and for corporate not to be money hungry, but unfortunately they are
yeah.
struggling, so they are going to be money hungry and just be like You know what? Fuck it. Just come into the movie theaters. If you get it, you get
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, yeah, you brought up both sides pretty well. Yeah, that
Yeah.
pretty much closes it. But I just thought it was interesting that they had it
Yeah.
passed, and people curious
I
if
mean,
that will.
do you agree with us though? Like, or like, what's your opinion about
Yeah,
it?
no, I completely agree with both of you guys.
Yeah.
Because it
Hmm.
is true. I mean, on one side, yeah, heck yeah, require vaccination. A bit safer, not everyone wears masks when they go inside the theater, so it's like, well, do I know they're vaccinated, do I know they're not, like,
Uh-huh.
do I have to protect myself, do I have to protect them? So it puts more stress, especially for those that are very like high anxiety with this type of situation. But at the same time, if they do limit that, right, it's gonna hurt business.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are going to be able to go with their friends, which is kind of the point of the movie theaters. You bring in large crowds, you
Hmm.
bring in your friends to go watch something together. Because when I went to go see Venom, there was a lot of groups, and I'm not like 2 or 3 people, where I'm talking like 5, 6 at minimum, just all over the place. Like there was large groups of people there. So I can see that if theaters decide to go that route, if they choose to go through with it, they're gonna take a huge loss in money, and that also may not be good for the movies themselves.
And
No, of
just
So,
course not.
remind me
Yeah.
again who did this? Which company?
oof, I just closed it too. Crap, I think it was
Uh,
an AMC theater.
AMC. Oh,
It,
okay.
I think. I'll try to look it up while we're talking about our movies, but yeah, at least the image that they showed was an AMC theater.
Yeah, in California.
Yes.
California.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay,
Got a party.
let's go ahead into our first major discussion, which is Squid Game, a show
Yay!
Where's
that
my
Ham
drink?
and I
Mm-hmm.
were first adamant to see about
Mm-hmm.
this. And then out of nowhere, today's Mike is like, oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Huh.
Probably because all of social media is talking about it. So he's probably like, oh,
Yeah.
fine, I'll have to watch it too.
I mean, to be fair, you guys honestly mentioned it in the text, and I was like, "What is that? Squid Game?" And then, when I got home, my wife's like, "Hey, let's watch this show called Squid Game." I was like, "Why is everybody mentioning this show?" And it's like, "Oh, you know what? It's part of the homework assignment. We're making this happen." You
Yeah,
know?
but I
You never
technically I
said
think
that.
no. Technically, I think we mentioned it in the
We
podcast
Yeah, we
first.
mentioned it in the
Yeah.
last episode because Ham kept bugging me about what the game was, and I did not know because I never got to that point. So
Uh.
me and Ham brought it up first,
Yes.
and then when I texted you, or went during the text, you still didn't say that you were watching it. I had
Oh,
no idea that you brought it up.
Wow.
well,
Uh,
surprise, motherfuckers!
Yeah.
all
I
right, so
watched it.
Squid Game,
Hmm.
IMDb gives it an 8.3 out of 10.
Oh, okay, okay,
Ooh.
okay, okay.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 94%.
Oh.
Oh, okay, okay.
No Metacritic. I think Metacritic doesn't do TV series because I think this is not the first time we haven't had a
Yeah.
Metacritic score.
I don't like Metacritic.
Who do you like?
I don't like myself.
I thought you were going to say the Google users. That would have been a nice transition, Mike. But oh well, you fucked that
Those
one
are
up.
my people.
No,
Stay
I
away
love
from
those
my
people.
people.
But Ham's people did not fuck up this rating because
Good.
96% like this
That's what I
TV show.
told them.
Nice, 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 nice.
Hundreds of cash strapped contestants accept an invitation to compete in children's games for a tempting prize, but the stakes are deadly. Starring a lot of people whose names I am not even going to try to pronounce because I know I'm going to fuck them up. So you can look up on IMDb what those names are. But I will say this: they have some cred, they have some reputation. I think that can be upheld based on this series. So as
Okay.
always, we will start with our cards, and then we will get into discussion of what we liked and did not like about this series that Ham and I first watched, and Mike just jumped in on
Mhm.
board because he's a bandwagoner. Okay, Mike, what is your card?
I don't know how I feel about that.
You know what that is?
Yeah, the bandwagon when you go down the track and rain, boom, 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 boom. I am between cards right now, so I'm just gonna play it safe. It might change while we discuss this. I'm gonna say a yellow card.
Oh my
Okay.
god. I thought this guy was gonna be split on gold or green. Green.
Yeah, that's a green for me too.
Okay, okay.
This was a really I I don't want to say the good series because there are plenty of flaws and sub like plot holes
Yeah.
that don't really get addressed. But I think what is the most intriguing about this series is the character developments amongst themselves, not just necessarily individually, because individually I feel like it's just kind of predictable. Like they're so the contestants are people who are in major debt, like people that owe
Yes.
thousands and thousands if not millions of
Yes.
dollars. And so this game that is run by this one person, kind of, maybe sort of, because we,
Mm,
even then, that's still kind of a mystery,
yeah.
is trying to give them an opportunity to win money to get rid of their debt. But like as the description says, they play children's games, but there's like a deadly twist to each one, which we can kind of recap later a little bit. um but I think like their interactions, for me at least, that was the most interesting thing. Like how, they were once friends, but now eventually kind of turned on each other.
Yeah.
But even though they kind of bonded over the course of the series, like how do you go through that like emotion of, crap, we were really close, we helped each other out, but now I have to screw you over and
Hmm.
win this because I have to think for myself. So for me, that was the most part. So I'm gonna just pause it right there for myself. Mike, what were your takes on the series?
I thought it was a really, really good show. I'm like you mentioned. There's plot holes in this show that I want to point out later on when we discuss it. That it made me bring down to a yellow card, and it's a little bit more. But I do highly recommend this show. It was very entertaining. The character development is great. It's just like that dramatic scenes that they have. It's just like intense. Of like,
Hmm.
man, is like, fuck, is this the end for this person? Is the end for that person? And I enjoyed it. I actually enjoy this more than Alice in Borderlands.
Really? Okay.
Yes. I thought this had better character development, likable characters. The games were interesting. Um, of course, like I have to talk in spoilers about the things that I didn't like.
Oh, this is
So,
spoiler filled. Spoiler filled, people.
oh,
Spoilers,
Spoiler filled.
spoilers, spoilers.
Spoilers.
oh,
By the way,
Read
there's
all
okay.
about
spoilers.
them.
Hey, Mike,
Spoilers.
remind the people that there's spoilers.
Hey guys, it's spoilers.
And by the way, there's also going to be spoilers.
Spoilers. So,
All right, get into your spoilers.
all right. Okay, so the things that I didn't like about the show. Um,
The
I
squid.
was the thing. One of the things is the brother of the cop.
Agreed. I will. I mean, there's parts of that is very weak.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna say I didn't like that
Yeah, I didn't
side
really.
story at all.
Yeah, I didn't like that too much, and it focused on. I don't want to say the whole entire show,
No.
but it did take a good portion of it, and I'm just guessing that it was just to fill out time for the show.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was
the
thinking.
the
Yeah.
slow
Okay.
time, and I was like, I wish there was something else. I wish there was actually more games or something with the characters, because when it got down to him, in my mind, I'm just like, okay, this has to go somewhere. Where's this going? And then when he figured out that it was his own brother, and then he died, his own brother killed him, and it didn't go anywhere from there. We don't get of like, why is the brother doing this?
Yeah, it
What?
was a for me, it was like a very unsatisfying conclusion, or even like confrontation,
Yeah.
because I felt like
Mm-hmm.
early on you could already figure out that his brother was the one behind the mask, because they put way too much focus on him and the guy in the
Yep.
mask. I'm like, okay, why is these two connected so close? And it's like, oh, you got to be the brother. Got it. All right. But then when they
Yeah.
finally confront each other, it's like, bang, what? That's it. Like there's no, like, we don't get to understand why he's becoming a man. Like, I get it for maybe a series, they want to save it for later, but like you said, it did feel like a time filler where you just kind of crammed it in there just to what kind of keep people interested in seeing if there's going to be a second season for this. Like, yeah, it was not satisfying at all.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing was the doctor of donating the organs, the eyes. I didn't understand that part. Just for, I don't know, like, what do they have to do? Are they gonna be, is that gonna be another thing for season two if they make a season two? I didn't like that part. Um, and I would say the ending was weak. I hated the ending of this show. I didn't like of how it was just it ended so weird. Of like this guy won the money, right? And he was doing it for his daughter, but at the same time, it's just like fuck the daughter. Let me adopt this girl's brother, and then I'm gonna leave it to this guy's mom that I killed. The you know when the guy's mother, whatever his friend's mother, that she's already old. So when she dies, the kid becomes an orphan regardless in the end, and then he leaves half of the money with her. And then he's gonna go on a plane to go see his daughter, and then he's like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm gonna go try to destroy this game," even though he had no type of ability of winning, or not, or he had no. I don't know. He had no business on winning. He just got lucky during the whole entire way. It was intense because he's the main character, but it's just like for him to be like, "I want to destroy you guys, and I'm gonna dye my hair red, and I'm gonna go kick some ass." Like, okay, all right, my bad. What the fuck is this bleach? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just couldn't get the pieces together. And then, of course, like the old man, where he was the owner of the whole entire games. That was quite interesting, but it just didn't go anywhere from there.
Right. Yeah.
You know. So that's why I give it a yellow card because there was just a lot of too many things that I would just feels like oh this and it was like oh you know whatever. So that's why I think I want to keep it with a yellow card. But the show is really good though. I do love the games. I love the characters. I love sort of like all the themes of each and every other like backstory that everybody has. And of course, like I will say the marble episode is the best episode.
Oh, I didn't even think about what was the best episode.
Mm.
All right, Ham, what do you got?
Uh, I actually like the ending because it's not like what you expected it to be. Where I mean, some parts were where he, gave the money. Well, not even because you didn't think maybe he was going to give the money to his friend's mom or not and adopt the kid. But you would expect him to spend the money and be with his daughter, and that didn't happen. He was just trying not to spend the money because he felt bad, which that's one of the his characters um whatchamacallit, not abilities, but that's what he felt bad the entire time usually and try to do what was best, but in the
So,
end,
blood money.
yeah, it's blood money. But I think uh I really like his friend. He became a really good villain at the end.
Yeah.
uh I thought they
He
did that very
he
well.
played the game right.
What?
He played the game. I think that's probably the best way to put it
Yes, he was
though, is that
focused on winning the game no matter what. Well, just like the other guy, the Fallout guy, because he's got a snake and yeah, there's a character like that in Fallout. So yeah, I call him
yeah,
the Fallout
okay,
guy.
so only 0.0000001% of the world population knew that reference, but go on.
You mean 101?
Hmm.
That's the Fallout thing. Uh, yeah, he was I he was all right as the sort of true villain, even if you want to call it that. Just the other bad contestant villain.
It's the only thing I want to say about that though, it's like I don't even know if you want to call it a villain or even
Yeah, I
says,
don't either. He's
but
just
like
another
they're
player.
yeah, but at the end, that's why I really like that fight scene at the end because they're two sides of the coin. Like they're the
Yeah.
opposite extremes. Where yeah, his luck and everything, but he was selfish at first, and then all of a sudden became more caring about other people. Whereas opposed to the other guy, he kind of started off, wanting to collaborate with other people
Hmm.
and kind of being more open to help others. But then as he saw that the games were getting more and more twisted, he was like, fuck that. No, I'm only going to look out for
Exactly.
myself. And I
Yeah.
think what broke him, well, what event, maybe it was like right before, but that marble scene with him and, and,
Yeah,
and
I
the
think that
guy
was the
that
best episode.
like that really like put that nail in the coffin of like, yeah, we lost the good side of this character, and now all there is this greed, this evil intent, which is what the old guy was trying to like diminish. Was like, no, this isn't the people that we want. We want the our main character, whose name like I'm gonna butcher, so I'm not even try to pronounce it, but he's the good one. He's the moral one. He's like the Captain America. He's the moral guy without
Yeah,
really realizing that he's like the one with the good morals.
yeah. I mean, the the other
Technically,
guy was good too. Wait, what?
he technically he never killed anybody
Uh,
except for the
mm,
ropes, the tug of war.
No, he pushed the guy. Didn't he push the guy? Yeah, he pushed the guy on the glass thing.
No. I'm talking
Oh,
about the
you mean
main
the main
character.
character?
Yeah.
yeah, the main character never really killed anybody. Yeah.
I mean, he was thinking about it at one
Yeah,
point.
but he never went through with it because again,
True.
he's got the good morals behind him. Like even
Yeah,
like that's what the like yeah, the marble scene is the best scene. Yeah, that's a good
it
one.
really
Yeah, it
is.
is cuz
Yeah.
like you can even feel and like see how distressed and like freaking like I don't know, degraded he felt going through that whole marble game with that old guy, feeling so guilty that he's tricking him all because he knew he has to win and survive. And like he broke. He broke the same time the other character broke.
Yes.
Damn, that episode is good.
It is. It is.
Yep.
I
Hmm.
also going back to the brother and the cop thing. Could the cop still be alive?
We don't
Maybe.
know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
Maybe.
mean, I don't know. I don't think so because it's been so long already. It was a year.
Yeah, but we don't. Just because they never go back to him doesn't mean that
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I mean,
I think he might still be alive because I
yeah.
don't. I
True.
find
They
that
don't
hard to
show a
believe that
body.
they just like they really just use that as filler just for no reason. Like
Yeah.
I would like to think that they had a purpose for it going forward with the seasons.
Yeah. I think so too. But
Like if season 2 continues on with that storyline, I will come back and I will give it a green.
Okay. And
oh,
what else
okay.
you got?
I wonder. I mean, they could go anywhere. They could have like flashbacks of how
No, I
the.
don't start with the flashbacks.
Yep, they could start flashbacks with
No, no,
the
no, no,
guy who
no.
was sort of quote unquote in charge, or even the old guy.
Hmm.
They could have flashback of how they started everything, or even the years prior. But if we have the main character, we could see a split of that. So we'll see. Maybe some flashbacks. Uh, the VIP thing was it
Weird.
necessary? I don't know, but maybe they'll.
Social class, though. Social class.
Yeah. I mean, that did push
Can
the
I
the
can I
comment
mention?
of no, real quick, the comment of
Mhm.
them being horses and just being bet on. But
I just want to say just the idea of what Korea thinks of how American sounds. It's so cringeworthy, and it's just like I don't think
It's
any. What
I
the
don't
oh,
know.
fuck?
well,
I
no.
would say
Speaking of
that's
that,
pretty accurate.
did you guys
Fuck
do?
you.
Did you guys do dub or sub? What'd you guys do?
Original, man. None of that
I did
English dub
original. I
crap.
don't do that English shit. Mm-mm.
Oh, I did English shit, so I don't know
Oh
what
my
What the
you guys
god.
were
fuck?
talking about.
Because he doesn't watch his shit. He just listens to it.
I gotta. I mean, I think I had subtitles on too,
Oh
but
my god.
like regular. No, but I definitely did have the American. Yeah. So yeah, I might have to go back and listen to whatever you guys are talking about.
It's pretty bad.
Okay.
Anything else?
Um. Uh. Shit father. So what Mike was saying, he was already a shit father. So I mean, I'm not surprised that he didn't go see his daughter.
But I
I
just
mean,
thought he was learning from him because he kept on saying about his kid, his kid, his
yeah.
kid.
Well, he was. Yeah. Was a
But
yeah. I'm gonna.
but the point I think the point of that like is the turning of his character of like accepting like that he helps other people because right we had
Uh
that
huh.
scene with the old guy where they're staring at this bum that's on the right outside this building
Yeah.
and he's like I bet you like you know if that no one will help him like you have until midnight and then finally someone does help him like right in the nick of time
Yeah.
but it just kind of showed our main character that there is still good in people and
Yeah.
that is kind of like you know the purpose in his life maybe is to help others like realizing that throughout this whole game that he's helped a lot of people and it got him to where he was like
Yeah.
yeah it's blood money and he feels guilty about it but maybe part of him realizes that you know because of all that sacrifice he doesn't want to throw it in vain so even though this is as much as he wants to be with his daughter, he knows that going after this organization and preventing them from, taking down other people is going to be the greater good deed than
Yeah.
just, his selfish act of wanting to be with his daughter.
Yeah, I see that, but also I was watching the entire time like, well, are there any rules for him not just doing something for the guy instead of just waiting for someone? He could have done it himself. Like, I don't know. That's what I was like, just go, man, go. Um, Other than that, uh want to speculate what he's going to try to do or how. I don't know. Uh, would he try to go back into the game? Like I don't know.
Back to the
Uh,
Matrix.
Oh
right?
God.
I just wonder how season two would all be
Yeah.
set up. I guess.
What about you, Sal? What do you think about the show? What
Um,
is your pros and cons?
yeah, I've already kind of mentioned a lot of the stuff already. I agree with the brother issue. Like it was not as satisfying. There were some minor things in the games which, like, you should have died but you didn't. How did you not get caught, like, especially in the second game? It's like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And I know, well, actually, we'll do a run through of the games really quick here in a second, but I what won it for me was, again, I think the acting. I think the acting from these guys was pretty top notch. I don't know,
Uh,
the best acting I've seen in a while. I would say better acting than Alice in Borderlands.
oh
Actually,
yeah.
Yeah.
Ham, Alice in Borderlands versus this. Like, which one do you prefer?
I think I was more excited for Squid Games actually.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, this one, I did not want to
Hmm.
stop watching. Like,
Yeah.
I know I had stopped halfway the first episode. I mean, I was sick, so I'm gonna use that as an excuse. But as soon as I
Hmm.
got back to watching it, I was like, nope, I want to watch the next one. How long's the next one? Oh, I got time. All right, I'm gonna watch the next one. And the next thing I know, it's like 5 a.m. I'm like, fuck, I gotta wake up in an hour for work. Like, this is shit. So, like, it was the acting, the dialogue, the writers of, like, how they created these conversations and these tense moments. And I think the directing and how they, like, just closed up on some of the faces and you could
Hmm.
just see their emotions, like, it was all good. And I think that's what, like, all of that stuff was done so well that it kind of, like, overshadows, like, all the flaws and everything about this. And seeing that it's the first season, maybe I'm gonna just justify it by saying that, like, they want to just cram stuff in there so that way they have more stories to tell and to tell
Hmm.
the people, like, hey, look, we can talk about this, we can talk about this, or we can talk about this. So,
Hmm.
hopefully we'll get more and more seasons sooner rather than later, because we don't even have second seasons of the other shows that we watch. But
Uh-uh.
yeah, it was really, really good. I really have, like, you guys had brought up all the complaints already. So let's go through the games
Hmm.
really quick, because there wasn't
Yeah.
that many, but
No.
they were pretty interesting. So the
There were
first one,
6 overall.
yeah, the first one was red light, green light,
Yep.
where they had this really weird robotic doll thing that was
It,
singing a song, and
creepy music.
as soon as the song was done, if you were caught moving after the song was done, then you would get shot. And
Yes.
that was pretty fun. That was a fun watch, especially with
Hmm.
people freaking out at the beginning, like, oh my god, and then just like half the whole freaking thing was wiped. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're speeding this one up pretty quick. The second game was the tug of war.
No,
I bel-
second game was the
Was the cookie?
Yeah.
cookie, was the umbrella.
Yeah.
Which you
So
saw some of the foreshadowing of that character knowing what the game was, but didn't really tell anybody.
right. There was four shapes. There was a square. No, there was a triangle, a circle,
Triangle,
umbrella,
square, circle.
and
Yeah,
oh, was a
umbrella.
square? Okay, it was a square.
Yeah.
So there was, like, this particular type of cookie or cracker or whatever that they had to cut out that shape, and it sucked getting the umbrella because there's more, like, details around that, because they couldn't break the
Edges
shape
and
itself. Like, they
yeah.
had to, like, peel back all the other stuff around it and only had the shape remaining. The
Hmm.
one flaw in this, though, was, like, how did that, like, chick get the lighter in there and use the lighter and not a single goddamn
I don't
person
know. Yeah,
noticed
that
that?
was bothering me a little bit,
That
but
bothered me a
not
lot
much.
too.
So
Also,
it
I
is.
saw the deleted scenes and the bonus feature. This is what just PlayStation does on the weekends.
I was gonna say that eventually too. Like, those
Yeah,
guys reminded me of this PlayStation buttons.
yeah, you got.
But we were missing one, the X button,
The
right? We were
X,
missing
yeah.
X.
Oh, the cross. Yeah, as they would say.
Hmm. For real.
Okay, so the third game was the tug of war game.
The tug of
Yeah.
war, right? The fourth
Okay.
one, the tug of war one was actually quite interesting. Of how that old man was. I don't know if that's true. I want to try it out if I ever go on a
Everyone's
tug
gonna
of war
try it out
game.
now. Everyone's gonna try it out.
Yeah, the way that they won was actually pretty impressive. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was really cool. I liked it a lot. But this one's the one that split into two different episodes. The tug of war.
Was
Yeah,
it?
because it cut off right as the game was about to start.
Oh, okay. The
Yeah, yeah, and
next game
was the marble.
that was the marble one. Yep, and
Mhm.
that was the one where it really kind of brought out the good versus the bad in people,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
kind of like spotlighted a lot of characters, especially that girl that kind of was like there's two of them. That conversation between the two girls who were kind of introverts at first, but then kind of started getting to know each other and became friends and realized that the more they talked, the more they kind of screwed up this whole attachment thing that they weren't supposed to have.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was definitely the best episode
You
of
know
the
what's
entire
fucked
series.
up though was the married couple.
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do, man? Like I
But
don't
like,
know.
but that's the fucked up part, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go in that game with your loved one, and it's just like, fuck. Like, okay, let's just play it out. Whoever wins, wins.
Yeah, as soon as I saw them pairing into the two teams, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a versus. Yep.
There was
You guys are fucked.
there was a social media post about how technically there could have like both players could have won, which I don't know if how the rules would work with that, but like if both of you had switched your marbles with each other at the exact same time, because technically it just like the only really rule to be concerned with is that you have to take the other player's marbles. So if you are both like have both like like if Mike and I were swapping like right his marbles in my hand or my marbles in his hand, and then we just let go at the same time, technically we took each other's marbles, so
I
technically we would both
guess,
win.
but I think it was you had to have all 20 marbles. The way I
No,
think it
it
made
just
it
says you
so.
have to take the other player's marbles.
Yeah, I guess.
It would
But
have been
But
confusing because the way that this guy was explaining to
well, there's
the
some loopholes. Like yeah,
there's some loopholes, but the way that this guy, the glasses guy, the
yeah,
bad
yeah,
guy,
and the gullible Indian guy.
yeah, it was just like the way that he was explaining how it could be a tie and them going against somebody else. I was like, sounds, I don't know, that sounds convincing, but I don't know. This guy looks desperate of not to die,
Yeah. But
but that was fucked up.
but
It
also
was
the way,
yeah.
fucked
yeah,
up
it
what he
was
did.
the way they phrased it though was you had to get your opponent's
Right.
marbles, not another team. So I don't even know if I don't think that would have worked.
The swapping? Yeah, if you just swapped your
Oh no,
marbles
no,
with
maybe the swap,
oh
but I'm saying
his idea. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, from the other
Mhm.
team.
Um,
Yeah,
So
the next game was the glass bridge.
was the glass bridge hot potato?
Yeah, so there was two rows, and there were glass tiles, and some were tempered glass, and some were just legitimate, just regular glass. The
yeah,
regular glass you would fall through instantly because it doesn't have enough strength to carry a person's weight. Um, that one was okay. It was I think out of all of them, that felt like the shortest game. I don't know. Like I know it took up the majority of the episode, but it just felt like it went by so quick.
yeah.
I got a problem with that though.
Is
That
it the beams?
towards
Are you gonna
the
say you could?
The what?
well, no, not the beams. No, not the beams. I was gonna say like towards the
Or the
end when the
bees, not the
glass
bees.
when the glass breaks, it hurts the other players, even though the game ends. So technically, like, safe spot, and they're not expecting to get hurt. But then the glass
Oh,
breaks, and they
I
all
call
got
bullshit
scratched.
on that. That was bullshit.
I
I'm
call
like, hey,
bullshit on that. Like you're not
uh,
giving them a chance. Actually, if you're gonna do with blow up glass, and this girl got
well,
hurt and injured, and technically she died because of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the game was already over.
I do wonder because in the beginning of the well, the whatever you want to call the whole thing, um, I thought they mentioned that it wasn't gonna be just down to one person. It was you're able to share the prize at the end with more than one person.
I don't remember that. Like, I
I
was trying to think about that throughout the series, and I was like, is there only going to be one, or are they actually going to have multiple winners? Because
I, s-
I
I
don't think they
swear they said
mentioned
you
it.
could. I swear they did. They said you were able to split the prize with your fellow contestants once you get to that point. Because even at the beginning they were like, "Oh, this is how much made. This is how many people there are, and you'd get this certain amount because there's that many people still left."
Hmm.
So
Shit, but
I
I would have
So
liked to
social
see.
media's.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying I would like to see how all would have played the Squid Game.
Yeah, I don't know how that would have worked.
it's only two teams though, so it'd be
Hmm.
like uneven.
Um, so social media's problem with the glass game, the glass bridge game, was they could have technically walked carefully on the beams between the two rows
I've not seen that.
and not have like walked on the glass. But in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, in my head, I'm thinking if they were to try to find that loophole, I'm pretty sure like
They're
the
gonna get
guys would have
shot.
just killed them.
They would
Yeah,
have got.
Yeah.
yeah, like, oh, you're not playing
They
by
would
our
have got
rules.
shot.
Boom, like
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. So I mean that is what it is.
Also,
So
in the same game, though, that's kind of. I'm like, oh, they knew that that guy could tell, so they changed the game a little. I'm like,
yeah, that's why I'm thinking like it wouldn't, because they would have
that's
just
some
killed them.
bullshit.
Then we had the dinner, which isn't a game, but they had the dinner. They had knives.
But
They could have killed each other, and that's where the
I
glasses
got
guy
hungry
killed the
when I
chick.
saw this.
It was a pretty good looking steak.
It was.
And then they played the Squid Game, which is not a game to us, native to us.
All right, is it a
I
real
guess
game?
I would assume so. I don't think they would have made that up
I
because
don't know.
I mean that's pretty elaborate. But
It is.
anyway, it just came down to the two guys that we already talked about, and I already talked about how good that scene is.
Mhm.
That fight scene was, I thought, very very well
Hmm.
played out. And then yeah, that was it. So I
You
would
forgot the mini
say
game. The the one where they're supposed to be sleeping and then they just everyone starts killing each other. Or
uh,
yeah, that's a mini game. Which in that
bonus
that's
round.
yeah, exactly. That's how they knew that was going to happen. They intentionally
Mm.
did that on purpose, and I that's when I noticed. I'm like, oh, old guy's in on it because he starts like crying or singing or I don't know what it was, and the game runner like looked at him. He's like, all right, let's stop it. So that's when I'm like, oh yeah, he's in on this shit.
I think that's pretty much it. I was gonna say I liked the games, or at least the concept of the games more though in Alice in Borderlands than I did in this one. Like these were, they weren't as like, I guess, puzzle solving
Yeah,
as the ones in Alice
we're
in
just kids games.
Borderlands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hmm.
they're
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
games, and like they said, they're supposed to be simple and direct. So I would say I like the games more in Alice in Borderlands, but I think overall, because okay, Ham, you said Squid Games, Mike said Squid Games.
yeah.
Hmm. I'll say this
I
though.
don't
I'll say
know.
this. Squid Game is more relatable to a person, where Alice in Borderlands, you have this main character where technically he's the smartest gamer.
Yeah, that was like
Out.
one episode though.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
uh,
witch hunts apparently.
but I think it Alice in Borderlands is a little bit more sci-fi-ish, where yeah, like this is more down to earth. I think that's what Mike was trying to say.
yeah, because I think
Yeah.
like Squid Game, or I would say like for me, Alice in Borderlands is more exciting to watch, but I think more intriguing would be Squid Games, but like intriguing in a positive way where it catches your interest all the way through. So I don't know. I can't pick which one I like more. Like I don't
Also,
want to just
yeah,
say Squid Games just because I just came off of watching Squid Games. I feel
yeah,
like I have to go rewatch Alice in Borderlands to get a feel for it.
and
Because I
like
think there
you
was a
said,
lot of good stuff set up in Alice in
yeah,
Borderlands.
but like you said, this was shot better, and the character development was better. I think
Yeah.
compared to
I
Alice in
think
Borderlands.
the character development for this show, Squid Game, is sometimes better than the character development than
Yeah.
I agree.
Alice in Borderland. Like I said, I didn't care about the second
Well,
episode about the friends because it didn't give me enough time to get to know them.
Right.
that's fair. That's fair. All right, 3 recommendations for this show. So if you
Yes.
haven't seen
Yes.
it, then what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Also,
Um,
there's gonna
yeah.
probably be a lot of Halloween costumes.
Oh my
God,
god, a
we'll
lot.
just hear the music just all over and over again. All right. Before we go into intermission, Ham and I will just really briefly, we're just going to keep it short, Ham. We're going to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
What If. What If is the Marvel animated series that is apparently MCU canon. And it is about the different multiverses throughout the Marvel universe, with the Watcher being kind of like the headliner, the one that's
Hmm.
narrating the whole thing and telling us all these decisions. We had talked about the first episode,
Yep.
where I think we were all on the same page, where it was just okay.
Yeah.
Nothing too exciting. It kind of felt like, or at least I recall Ham and I saying the same thing of like, you're just rehashing the movie and just substituting the character, and then that's really it. There was nothing else really different about it. Um, Ham, after watching all episodes, where's your card now?
I I'll say a yellow.
Okay. I would agree. I'm a yellow. There was no way in any part of this where I felt like I wanted to give it a green card. Um,
Mm.
there were a lot of cool moments.
Yeah.
I think the zombies one was probably my favorite one because I think that was just more
Everybody likes the
interesting.
zombies.
It's not just because of the zombies though. I just thought the characters and their interactions were more interesting
Hmm.
than the rest of the episodes. Um, I'm just gonna go
Oh,
to
because
my
Spider Man
biggest.
was in it.
Oh, maybe. I'm just gonna go to my biggest gripe with this series is that it didn't follow the same consistent storytelling as the
Hmm.
first episode, where I
Yeah.
liked in the first episode where it paused on the decision moment, where it's like, oh, instead of deciding to go up, she decided to stay down on the ground level,
Yeah.
and then this is where it happens. Because like all the other ones were just very like how the fuck did we even get here? Like you didn't even
Right.
tell me what the what if decision was. You just told me, oh well, we're just gonna take a story setting and just change the character, and then here we go. Here's an adventure, and then you show us a lot of cameos and kind of like neat concepts, but again, you don't really explain how to get there. And point, like you don't have to explain it because that's a whole nother series and saga on its own. But like it just felt so crammed and so I don't know. The ending, the last episode, as cool as it was to see it, to watch it, it wasn't satisfying.
Mm-mm.
Like because you kind of just rehashed phase one, but like not in a good way.
Basically.
And like I mean, they also copied the circle around from
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Avengers. I'm like, really? Like this is what we're going with? Like I character wise, Doctor Strange, sure. I think out of all of them, he's probably my favorite character. Um, and honestly, I think that's about it. All the other ones, I just did not care that much for. I like I said, I like the story set. I like the concepts behind all of these, but you just didn't give me the what if moments of like how did we get to this, like how does Black Panther become Star Lord, like where's the
Yeah.
what if moment, where's that decision, like they kind of glossed over it where it's like, oh, they just picked up the wrong person. It's like,
Yeah.
what, like were they in the same country? Like that doesn't make any sense.
No, not at all.
So yeah, it's okay, it's fine. I don't know how they're gonna work it into the MCU if they are, but I don't know if I could recommend it enough to be like, yeah, you
Hmm.
have to go watch
Yeah.
this. It's just
Yeah.
more like, if you got some time and you want to, fill in some Marvel itch, there you go. There's What If.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. If you really want to watch something new with Marvel with some of your characters that you like, yeah, why not? Um, I thought maybe some of the like throughout the from episode one to the last one, they got increasingly better, but not by much. Other than that, yeah, it wasn't really. I didn't, there wasn't that gold, that little spark or something. It was just kind of bland. So yeah, it'd be like a burger from a amusement park.
What the fuck?
What amusement park could I think of? Like Disneyland or World. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get a burger that costs fucking $20 and it just tastes like a plain old burger. There you go.
But it's a burger, but what if it's a turkey burger?
What if?
And
So
they did. What if?
yeah.
It is cool that they got a lot of the same actors to voice these
Yes, that
characters.
that actually is good.
But I just want to make it clear that doesn't make it automatically good.
No, no,
Like,
not at all.
because I think, I mean, a social media buzz, there's a lot of people that were really hyped about, like, oh my God, we got Michael B. Jordan to voice, Killmonger. Oh my God, we got Benedict Cumberbatch. Like,
That
okay,
is
yeah,
cool,
sure.
but yeah,
Like, but you gotta give me some substance here other than
yeah.
just the guy that voices these people. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't blame Mike for not watching this. I mean, I know
True.
he wasn't really, entranced by the first one. But Mike, I'm pretty sure after this little mini convo, you're probably not at all gonna want to watch the rest of it. So, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, can I? Even though I didn't watch it, but the whole entire time I'm over here thinking, who in the right mind even questioned or even said, "Oh, what if I don't know, Black Panther was Star Lord"? Like, who the fuck came up with that?
In the
Like,
comics, I mean, the writers, I guess, whatever, how many years ago that
so
was,
if
but
you're referring to these specific situations from
oh,
these episodes, oh, agree. I can see that. The what if concept though has kind of been around in comics for many years early
yes,
on in the whole Marvel universe, but they were more
okay,
like, but the difference is they were more one shots of like, let's just take this story and see where it goes,
yeah,
not like, hey, let's build this story and this story and this story and then just build like a whole themed event out of it. Like
yeah.
that's what this series did, and I think that's where it was just not satisfying for me, where like I didn't want that connection. I just wanted these single entities to be like their own thing and not building up to something.
yeah, it wasn't needed.
Yes,
Hmm.
agreed.
Got you. All right, then yeah, I'll give it a yellow card.
All right, let's go ahead and take an intermission, and then we will go into another lengthy discussion, I'm sure, about Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Intermission.
Is that from Squid Game?
Intermission.
That's terrible.
Oh god,
Fuck you. It's been a while.
Just shoot me. Just go ahead and shoot me now.
I've seen that series.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Ham's most anticipated movie of the year.
Whoa.
Ham has been waiting for this since the first Spider-Man 3 movie.
Oh yeah.
Emo time.
Sequel to Tom Hardy's Venom. This time adding in Cletus Cassidy, played none other than by Woody Harrelson, minus the sideshow bob hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
IMDb gives it a 6.6 out of 10.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes, 59%.
Oh.
Metacritic, they're back for
Oh.
this one, but only 47%.
Whoa.
Oh.
However,
What about them
Ham,
Google?
yeah, Ham brought out the invites and he said, bring your own beer, because 82% like
Whoa. Damn.
this
82.
movie.
They were
Yep.
pretty drunk when they saw it.
This was delayed a couple times, and
A couple
then
times because of the
and
pen.
then anti-delayed. I don't know if that
Look
works,
up.
because yeah, well, it got delayed to the 13th, I think, originally, and then it got pushed up to the first. Yeah, a lot of people were really hyping up this movie before it even came to theaters,
Mhm.
because there was a certain leak that happened, which we'll kind of save towards the end. I don't know if these two guys will agree with me, but I think our rating on this movie should be without that mid-credit scene in mind.
Oh yeah.
Only because I
What?
feel like it has no significant value to the movie as a whole.
Oh well, shit. Let me change my card
It
then.
has value.
But that's up to you guys, because I'm going to go into why later. But I that's up to you. But
Uh-huh.
that's my mentality on it.
Uh-huh.
I don't think my rating changes either way with or without that scene.
Okay, okay.
So there is.
Did you guys watch it before it came out in
No,
theaters?
I
No,
Because
didn't
I'm
it
not
even
was
watching no
know.
fucking leak shit, man. Come on.
No, 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 I
fair
didn't
enough.
even know. I didn't know. I honestly didn't even look
Did
up anything on
did you
Venom.
go searching for that, or did it just fall into your lap?
Oh, I didn't go. No, so it was just all over social media about people hyping up the end credit scene. It was like, oh my god, the end credit scene, the end credit scene. Even like Tom Hardy like tweets out like, please don't ruin the movie for anybody. Don't tweet or anything about the movie. I'm like, it's probably gonna be what I think it's gonna be. Like, there's no way that
Oh,
they're overdoing this whole hype just before nothing. Like, there's no way. But
okay.
anyway, like I said, sequel to Venom. Eddie Brock is still struggling to coexist with the shape-shifting extraterrestrial Venom when deranged serial killer Cletus Cassidy also becomes host to an alien symbiote. Brock and Venom must put aside their differences to stop his reign of terror. Cards again, as always, first, and then we will get into what we liked or disliked about the movie. So, Mike, what is your card?
Just like Carnage, Red.
Okay, Ham.
Uh,
I was gonna say
Ham's like,
something else
fuck, you took
clever.
my line.
no, no.
I wish this was delayed all the way to 3,000.
I'm in between two cards. What's the gold one and then the Becky one? I'm in between those two cards. No, I just want to say yellow off the bat, but I could be probably very convinced for a red. Um,
God, I knew this was gonna happen.
Just
yeah.
give it a red because
Come
I'm gonna
back to me.
convince
Come
you.
back to me.
Okay, so before I give my card,
Is this with the mid credit
did
scene or
did
without it?
did the yeah does the mid credit, like, are we still considering the mid credit scene, or is
No,
that throughout?
Well,
no.
no, it's different. I would say I'd put that. It is. It's not like you said. I mean, it is the movie. It's not the movie, but for that thing was better than the movie I watched. So yeah, yeah that gets its own category. So
God, I knew this was gonna happen. This is gonna be an interesting conversation. I'm gonna give it a yellow.
uh huh.
I really wanted to give it a green though,
What?
and it wasn't until though like the last the last like part of the final fight where I was like, oh god, you went this route. And then I was like, okay, I can't justify agreeing at this point. But up
Mm,
until then, I was with it. And the decisions that were made, I get why people are not satisfied with this movie. But I'm gonna let you guys talk first before I kind of, or maybe I'll interject at some points. But so the movie is like almost the same as the first one, where you have this like weird odd couple relationship between Venom and Eddie Brock. However, Cletus Cassidy gets a hold of the alien symbiote because he bites Venom's finger, or Eddie Brock's finger,
yeah.
and within the blood is the symbiote itself, or at least a spawn of the symbiote,
He
and that kind of grows within Cletus Cassidy, and he starts becoming overtaken by the Carnage symbiote, or at least the red one, as he's referred to
Hmm.
in by Venom in the dialogue itself. And then it's just Cletus Cassidy kind of causing havoc just because he wants revenge for all the shit that's been done to him, even though he kind of deserved it. You know, he's kind of killed
Yeah.
a dog or a cat or whatever, and he pushed his grandma down the stairs and all
Yeah.
this
nah, he
other,
just nah. He wanted a best friend and he couldn't get it.
let me just ask this quick question. Did you like Batman versus Superman?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I fucking hated it.
I didn't.
Okay.
That was the
And
worst piece
then
of shit.
there was, your big climactic battle scene at the end with Venom versus Carnage, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mike, go ahead. Sure, talk it away.
Okay. I want to mention that Carnage is my second favorite villain of all time in comics.
Oh boy,
Or
here we go. We're gonna start with
number,
this.
well, I have to mention this. And number one is, and the
Sure.
thing is that these two characters of Joker and Cletus Cassidy, they're sort
Mhm.
of almost comparable of their fucking psychotic people. And the thing that I
True.
love about Carnage is that I didn't like what the movie did is that they made Carnage its own thing where he's almost like two different split personalities where you have Cletus Cassidy and you have a Carnage. Where in the comic books, what I remember, you could correct me if I'm wrong, Sal. Cletus Cassidy has full control of the symbiote.
He is more in sync with his symbiote, or more like he's better in sync with his symbiote than Eddie and Venom.
That's why I don't know. I always found it in more into like he has full control of it. Like he is the symbiote himself because he's just that fucking crazy, and that's why he's red, and stuff. So I just didn't. I'll start out with my positive things, right? The mid credit scene. So the thing that I didn't like about the movie, I'm playing. I don't know. There's not really any pros that I have about this movie. I mean, you could say about like Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, but honestly, I don't know. Like I just want a redo of this whole entire character. Like nothing against Tom Hardy. Like he did the best I mean, he did the best he really can. You know, it's a bold CGI monster and everything. But I don't know. Like it's just for me, it's just very forgettable. They really,
Yeah.
really fucked up this whole entire Venom series, in my opinion. And and honestly, like I could take away I'm going to criticize the mid credit scenes in a bit. And then it's whatever. I'll give him props and Woody Harrison.
In
What you were
support
saying?
of what you're saying, just really quick, in support of what you're saying, maybe in support of what you're saying, I felt like this was more of like a Carnage movie featuring Eddie Brock and Venom.
Yeah, I see that.
I feel like it's more of like more part one of just drama between Venom and Eddie Brock, and then we have Carnage in the movie. That's how I see it.
Mm,
I don't know. That's just. I mean, I don't know. Um, what's another thing? Well, I'm gonna get down to my negative parts. I just didn't like the whole back and forth thing with Venom and Eddie Brock of them breaking up, and the little jokes that they were trying to do to me was just flat. It was not even funny. Woody Harrison, nothing against him, but I just think this character was so long overdue that I just didn't feel any type of connection with him as I did in the comic books, or even like didn't even mention of like what he really did until towards like he explained it himself, like he killed his grandmother, he killed his dog, he killed his stepdad, killed his mom. Where in reality, in the comic books, he never killed his mom. He loved his mom. It's just his stepfather killed his mom, and he killed the stepfather, and then he set the whole entire school on fire with kids in it and shit like that. And you know, and I don't know. I didn't sense the intensity with him. I just felt like okay, he's just Woody Harrison playing Woody Harrison, I guess, and it didn't really give me that type of intense vibe or whatever. I don't know. And then the whole entire love connection with Screech, it was just fucking random, and it just had no place in the movie. And when it got towards like, it was just like the whole entire movie was just like dragged on. And then when it got down to the ending, where the fight was actually quite interesting, it was enjoyable. That's one pro that I could give it. But the movie should, I don't know, there was just some parts I'm just like, man, there should be blood in here. There should be some intense moments like this. I wish it was a rated R movie because like if you're gonna add Carnage, it has to be fucking rated R.
Okay, so that's where I'm gonna have to like interject here because I'm getting tired of hearing that argument. Where we knew it was PG-13 since what, like the first time they announced this movie,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
going into this movie, if people still expected, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying people, if people still expected to see like Carnage
Mm-hmm.
form an axe and cutting someone's head off and all this blood and gore and spines and all that stuff, then why'd you even go bother watching a movie when you know full hand like it's a PG-13 movie?
Was
You're
the first
not
one
gonna see any of
PG-13?
that shit. Yeah, the first one's PG-13, and
Oh, okay,
even
then yeah,
and
yeah.
even Tom Hardy in interviews said, was like, yeah, we get, like, this character is very aggressive and more vicious than we are trying
Yeah.
to probably make it, but we want to appeal to a much wider audience, and of course I think
Yes.
that's every movie's, like,
You
mindset
mean
is
get
like,
more money?
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
obviously,
for
yeah, get
sure.
more,
Yeah.
appeal to more people, so that way they bring in more people to the movie theaters. But, like, I feel like
Hmm.
because we've known this for so long, why is this still a thing being brought up? Like,
That's
we
fair.
because we even argued that, like, when we first heard the announcement it was going to be a PG-13 movie. It's like, oh, they're not going to do Carnage, right? Because Carnage always is the one that, like, you could see him, like, like, gnaw off the head of somebody or arm, or just, like, again, all this blood and gore and stuff. But, like, I don't know. I guess my expectations were lower for Carnage because going in, yeah, I'm not gonna see that shit that I want to see from a Carnage movie. That's why I just don't like that argument in the rating of this film, because it's like, it's not fair. You just shouldn't have gone see the movie to begin with.
I don't know. I disagree with that. We even though we knew about this was going to be a PG-13, but the thing is that the movie is about to commit to violence, but it's just like, okay, we're just gonna like just not show you him fucking bite off the head or fucking like literally rip this guy apart. We're just going to just like just we're gonna make sure that you don't see it. We're gonna flip the camera and he's just gonna do his own thing. That's the way that I saw the movie, at least. Of course, like the F bomb was
You're
pretty
allowed
funny.
one.
Yeah, I want like fuck this guy, you know. But I don't know. I want Carnage back the right way. I I didn't understand the whole entire thing with the detective guy, especially towards the ending. I don't know if he's supposed to play some type of character. I don't know if you know
Oh
anything
yeah,
about
actually,
that.
yeah, that threw me off. I'm like, I don't know what that's
Yeah,
supposed to be
Detective
either.
Mulligan in the comics, that the character becomes another symbiote character called Toxin, but there's no explanation as to why in the movie he becomes that, or
Oh,
will eventually become that. Like, that I did not like that at all. That's why I said towards the ending, like, that last part of it is just like, what the fuck are you doing here? And, like, him
is
coming
that the
back
white
to
one?
life. Toxin, no, that's Anti-Venom you're thinking of.
Oh,
Toxin is more of like a full-on red with, like, Spider-Man eyes, kind of.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
And
it didn't make sense for him to come back to life. It's like, you did not bite Carnage, at least not that we saw, and
Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't know if any symbiote got on you at all. So, yeah, it made no sense. And there's, like, not even, like, a background story of, like, he got exposed with chemicals and with a symbiote, like, not even that bullshit thing. Like,
Acme chemicals.
yeah, it's just like, you just woke up. Okay. Like,
yeah,
you went to take a nap because we couldn't afford you anymore in the movie.
Mhm.
and the whole thing was with Screech. I don't understand
Is it Screech
why.
or Shriek? I thought it was Shriek.
I think it's Shriek. I think I said the name
Yeah,
wrong.
because I'm like, Saved by the Bell. What happened?
You
Shit, I missed
know,
something.
Scream. I don't know, Screamo girl.
I will agree with that. That character alone is up to me. That is the most forgettable character in the entire movie.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure, for sure. Like it's just I
mm.
don't know, and the ending was just to you push her down, and then she's going to scream. It's just like you got fucking lucky. Don't even play like you knew you were what you were doing. Um, I don't know. Like the movie is just it's whatever. I'm not gonna watch this movie again. I hope they could redo the whole entire Venom thing, and then I'll say this about the mid credit scene, and this is my last thing. I am I'm like, okay, awesome, fucking awesome that Venom is finally in the MCU with the multiverse and shit. But now you're gonna tell me that he's going to fight Spider-Man, so you save the galaxy, but you're gonna fight a hero. So are you a fucking villain now? That's
Yeah,
my
I don't know. I don't know.
I got a theory for it,
He's
but
got. I'm sure you
yeah,
do.
I sure you do.
But
This movie recommended.
hmm,
Save. That's on me. I don't recommend it.
Ham Woody Harrelson is one of your favorites, is he not?
I do like Woody. Woody's been. I remember him from Cheers. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, is that the? Yeah.
I was
Dun,
waiting
dun,
for a
dun,
Toy Story joke, but sure, you can go with
dun.
that.
Oh God, yeah. You set up Woody, and I'm like, I was thinking Zombieland and all that, but uh, where is the motorcycle scene or like the car chase scene. Where is the scene where he fights the SWAT people? And this is all in the sort of middle slash not even beginning of the movie. Where is all that? Where was anything before the end scene? Was it all just Carnage doing shit and Venom just like partying around? That was it, right?
Yeah.
Well, there
Yeah.
wasn't really anything else before the end. Like, I could have just watched the last 30 minutes and I would have been fine, I think.
Okay. But I
Uh,
mean that. So I have a different outlook. I agree, kind of to an extent, with what you're saying, but that's why I said I felt like it was more of a Carnage movie featuring
yeah,
Eddie and
no, I
Venom.
see that. I mean, I saw Carnage do more shit than Venom. I know this is, like you said before, an odd couple thing where they're like back and forth, but do I want to see that? No, I don't want to see that. What? I could watch. It tries to be, comedy and it doesn't work well. Like I said, we had two people, or it was just me and two other people, and I don't think I heard a laugh once. I think I laughed once at one point, but I forgot which one it was. Maybe twice. But other than that, I'm just like, this is not what I wanted to see. This is not good. Uh, that's why I mean, even that end credit scene, I'm like, does that deserve maybe a little bump? Not really. I'd rather have just watched that a couple times. So, in reality, I am gonna have to give it a red. I think. Um, I just the first one was definitely better. You guys agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say the first one is
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I like that his ex fiance is back. That was interesting, and the that was kind of interesting with the a new fiance too. Um, but it's just weird that they were in it anyways. I guess they're not gonna be in it anymore. They're not gonna show up in Venom 3. Uh, but yeah. Other than that, I didn't need to see Venom and Eddie back and forth. Well, I think I got that in the first one, and yeah, didn't need any more. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna settle on a red.
Yeah, so the whole Eddie and Venom thing, like I appreciated more Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock as much as I still love Topher Grace as Eddie Brock just for the memes and the corny
Yeah, yeah,
lines.
yeah.
Like I really do. I've grown to like more and more Tom Hardy into the Eddie Brock role, just the way he carries himself in the movie as the Eddie Brock character. But I just did not get enough of his movie. I felt like this was very Carnage centric, and maybe for good or bad reasons. I mean, I think for the better reasons, like in order to do Carnage any sort of justification, if they were just to squeeze like his spotlight into like 15 or 30 minutes would have been like the most disgusting thing to like have watched. Like I think he took up the majority of the movie, and I
Yeah.
think they had to explain his origin. They had to explain why he's so psychotic, and it wasn't the most satisfying. Like I get from Mike's perspective, and I understand why people hate it, but that's why I just go back to, we knew this was going to happen. We knew that this wasn't going to be the savage Carnage that we've always wanted to see go into movie. I think Carnage was done right in the limitation that they were given. Like he was still just as vicious. We didn't actually get to physically see him like chop someone's head off or bite it off, or like we saw things kind of like post, right? We would see him kind of go towards somebody, and the next scene is, well, there's a headless person on the floor.
That was
Like,
off screen. Yeah.
yeah, and they had to, otherwise they would have to bump up the rating. So I
That
think
didn't really bother me, and yeah, I didn't.
I think they did. It's fine. I think visually, I actually liked Carnage way more than I did in the trailer. Like in the trailer, I was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna get another Riot versus Venom thing where we're not gonna see shit. This is gonna be a poorly
Mm.
put together like character. It's not gonna look right." But I think in the end, he looked cool. He looked awesome to me, at least,
Yeah,
and enough for me
visually.
to even consider getting the Hot Toys figure for it, because I saw the
Oh
Hot Toys
wow.
figure. I'm like, God damn, like that looks like Carnage. Like he's got like the axe hands, he's got the tendril sticking out. Like visually, I think they nailed Carnage. I just like with Mike, I would have liked to seen him be like the more vicious Carnage that we would have gone. But again, it's a PG-13 movie we've known for so long. So I was satisfied with what we got. I think the whole Cletus Cassidy being more in sync with his symbiote, that's why I wish this like there could have been like a Carnage 2, like another movie develops more, because I think with Cletus Cassidy just getting the symbiote, like it kind of started showing that like fuck, like he knows that this thing is its own entity. In order for him to become Carnage or to fully embrace it, he has to like welcome it. So it's kind of like a development of Cletus Cassidy trying to stand the symbiote, because I don't know, I don't like the straightforward storyline of like, oh, I'm gonna be now this super powerful and automatically bond with you because that's just how we're gonna be. Like I think I like the steps that they took with this character, but it then pissed me off when they just killed him. When it was like, oh,
Right?
you
Yeah.
just ate his head off, and it was like, excuse me, you had me going for a while. You actually had me convinced that I was going to enjoy this movie, and you did this. Like I felt like Venom biting Cletus Cassidy's head off was like Sony taking a bite out of the third movie of any Marvel franchise they want to do. It's like, nope, we're not gonna have it happen. Too late, too bad. We're gonna stick at 2. That's all we know. We learned from Spider-Man 3. We don't do a third movie good. So there you go. End it there. And it's like, well, fuck you then. I didn't like the Mulligan turning into Toxin or starting to turn into Toxin because there was no
Yeah,
explanation behind that.
yeah.
It ended so abruptly with them like
Um,
just kind of leaving, and then we get, to me, what I felt like this forced isolated scene of them being on a beach. It's like, what, why are you even here? There was no hint of
yeah, I
anywhere in
don't
the
know.
first movie or the second movie that like
Yeah,
you wanted to be on a tropical island.
yeah,
Like
I
I
don't.
get that
Well,
you're trying to run away from everything because they know who you are now, but on a tropical island, like, is this supposed to make us think like now we like, that was the big hint, right? Like towards the end, like, oh, you knew this was coming, you knew that we're gonna totally separate this Venom from this universe and put him into a new one. Like I think it was just intentionally
ye-
forced just to set up the mid-credit scene.
well, Venom did mention that he would like to feel his toes, feel like the wind.
Oh well, gold card.
Okay.
um, but also, yeah, real quick too. That it was weird because then the next scene is the end credit scene where they're somewhere else now, but then it switches back to sand, like by the
Well,
beach, and I'm like, what? Why wouldn't it be in
yeah,
reverse?
I don't get it
You just
either.
showed a scene where you were in the sand, and I hated that. Just that
Well,
little thing.
Sal, what do you think about the mid credit scene?
Well, just to kind of wrap up my other thoughts on the current,
Oh,
like
okay, okay, sorry, sorry,
on the
sorry.
main movie, is that I still think we got Carnage. I still think we got a good enough Carnage to be established, or what could have been established as our main Carnage going forward. But they fucked it up at the end, which I'm still pissed about. Because like I even like the scene where he was getting chased by the cops, and like he just kind of wreaked havoc on all the cars and just blew shit up. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah, that was cool.
he's causing chaos. Like this is what Carnage does, and that's why I like that development between Cletus Cassidy and Carnage. Was like, you know, he doesn't understand the symbiote yet, but he's starting to. He likes the havoc, he likes the chaos, but he's also got this stupid love interest, which bothered me. But
Mm,
as soon as that was gone, we could have had a more in sync Cletus Cassidy and Carnage, because now he's gonna feel like how shitty his life is without the one thing that kept him, you know, that kind of kept him on the on a light path, I guess, or whatever. But
yeah.
now, you know, with that out of the picture, now we can fully embrace the Carnage. But like I said, they fucked it up by eating up off his head. I still
So
enjoyed it. I think the climactic battle scene, like the ending, the final fight was good.
yeah.
We got to see Carnage like do Carnage things and like really fucked up Venom and stabbed him multiple times, and like
Hmm.
it was pretty brutal. That's why I wanted to initially give it a green card, because I think we got a good enough Carnage for what the limitations that we were given. And yeah, if they would just like kind of pull back on the what's the lock there or whatever, then we would have gotten a probably perfect Carnage. I think Woody Harrelson did fine. The writing probably was a little off. That was probably why it didn't feel like the full Cletus Cassidy that we got like from the '90s cartoon show or from the comic books. But I think he could have been the main one, like how Alfred Molina is in Doc Ock, or how, you know, this now Tom Hardy's Venom. This could have been Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy and Carnage going forward, but they made a lot of poor decisions in the final cut of this movie.
Also,
Right.
did you see? Speaking of writing, Tom Hardy got a writing credit there, and
He wrote the word "fuck" in the line.
yeah, maybe. And then you see who directed this?
Andy Serkis, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I looked it up. doesn't have that many, directing
No,
credits.
but
But I
I think
just,
that's what helped the fight scene, right? If we had,
you
because
think?
who directed the first one? Was it not Andy Serkis either?
I don't think so. No, I think they
I don't think
fired
so.
somebody,
Hold up.
and then they replaced them with Andy
Oh yeah,
Serkis.
Ruben Fleischer. So complaint at the first Venom, I think everyone can agree, was you couldn't see shit. Like you just saw black glue all over the
Uh huh.
place. It's like if my daughter spilled glue on the table. It's like, oh, there's the fight scene right there. I didn't have to go to the theaters to watch it. I saw it on my table. Like that, it was bad. But I think with Andy Serkis knowing CGI and shit, that helped because you could actually see shit between Venom and Carnage. Like it was
Yeah, but he's
very clear.
mostly motion capture. I mean, unless they did a lot of motion capture, I don't see him really doing a lot to make the movie better. So I don't know.
I think this movie just lacked on writing. That's just what it is. Like, I think Andy Serkis directed it fine, but and he's a great director and he does a great job. But I
I
don't
mean,
know.
he's only directed
But
just a couple things,
so
and
so trend to transition us, they I we're agreeing on the writing part because why did they have to do what they did? To force a fucking crossover here.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get to the mid-credit scene where they're on this tropical island, they're in their hotel room, and I'm gonna be honest here. The only part of the mid-credit scene that I actually liked was the dialogue that was there, where
also you
Venom
got to
is
reverse. Like he's like in like New Orleans or something, and then it goes to a tropical island, which made no sense because they were already on a tropical island.
oh really? I thought they were
Yeah,
in the same
that
place.
that's no, that's why I hated that. No, no, no. In the background, it's like nighttime and like in like like a New Orleans sort of scene, and then it jumps to
Huh.
sunny whatever.
So Tom Hardy's laying on the bed watching some Spanish soap opera thing,
Yeah,
and Venom's having this conversation with him, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry for this and that. I've been through a lot in the 1,000 years that I've been, alive, and if I gave you my whole story, you wouldn't be able to survive. So I'm going to give you a fraction of it." But as soon as that conversation ended, we get this orange light or whatever that signifies that he is now in a different universe because the next thing that pops up on the TV that he notices is J. Jonah Jameson reporting that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and that he's a menace, he's out loose, whatever. Not those exact words, but he's doing his whole reporting thing, and you see Tom Hardy or Tom Holland, got to get the names right. Tom Holland on the screen in the spider suit, and I don't understand where people are getting this from, but Venom goes up to the screen and I swear 99.99% confident he says this guy when other like the majority of social media is saying tasty as he licks the screen. I'm
No,
gonna
he
go with
says this guy.
yeah, he says this guy. That okay, good. I'm glad someone's supporting that.
yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
And
he said
then
this guy.
and then some random white guy comes out of the bathroom because they're in the same hotel room, but not the same hotel room because now it's Tom Holland. It's the MCU universe.
Yeah.
It comes down and is like, "What are you doing in my room?" And Tom Hardy's like, "I don't know." And then that's it. And then we end it there. You guys said you liked the mid-credit scene more than the movie.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
I
pretty much.
I think everyone's really excited because this obviously means we're gonna get a Spider-Man Venom crossover. So, anything you guys want to say before I go on to a theory here?
No, I don't know. There's really nothing I could really say except for like, okay, cool.
Uh, yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know.
as
I don't know what to think about it. That's why.
as much as I want to be clear, I do want to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in the No Way Home movie. I really do because it would be really really cool. But I'm getting more and more convinced that it's not going to be the case. I think we are going to get multiple Spider people, but I'm pretty sure that they're all going to be Tom Holland in different spider suits
You believe so?
Mm,
Yes.
because that's why I like the dialogue of this mid-credit scene more than anything else Because Venom says that he's been around for 1,000 years, and as soon as he sees Tom Holland's Spider-Man, he says, "This guy," which to me, I interpreted as, you know exactly who this is. You've seen his face before. You fought him before. So you think that this is the same person you fought beforehand. And so now you're going to go after him because of whatever bad thing he did to you or whatever you think he did to you in whatever universe you existed before.
How
Which
does
then
that make
makes me
sense?
think,
He
which
killed his puppy.
which then makes me think that when we see Doc Ock say, "Hi, Peter," he's really talking to Peter Parker from his universe, but it's still going to be Tom Holland. I don't think it's going to be Tobey
God,
Maguire or Andrew Garfield. Like, we're going to see 3 Spider-Man, and they're going to unmask themselves, but they're all going to have Tom Holland's face.
do you think? Do you think this is that when Tom Holland looks into the mirror, we're going to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield?
Why would we?
Yeah, no.
Because the thing is that like Tom Holland is living in a universe of somebody else's point of view, but like it's himself.
Oh shit!
I don't know if that makes
Uh,
sense.
I know what you're getting at, but but see, that would piss me off because then that's Sony saying, forget these actors in their so they're literally saying forget these actors, just think that this was Tom Holland the entire time.
Uh, no, but going back to what you said before, you did say it's probably Tom Holland playing different, and yeah, that's probably the most realistic thing that probably is the truest as well. So, I mean, I see, that's where my expectation is for
Because the fact for him to
the
say
movie.
this guy, like if he still had his mask on, then that could still lead to speculation that we're going to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this movie. But he was unmasked and he recognized him, which means he knows that face because we don't really get to see much of the spider suit. It's really Tom Holland's face and like the shoulders, and that's it. So
I still don't get that how he would recognize him, even though if
because remember, this is a Venom that's been through a lot of shit. He's even said that to Tom Hart to Eddie Brock. He's like, at all the multiverses or all the universes I've been through and all the 1,000 years that I've seen, like you wouldn't know like all this shit. Like if I gave you all of it, you would black out or whatever. So I'm gonna give you a fraction of it.
I
So
still
Venom
don't
has
like
lived
that.
around a certain universe or time frame where he's fought a Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah, but the whole thing was it's Eddie Brock versus Peter Parker or slash all that. It's never been Venom. I don't know.
But this also it's when you're saying that they've always been true to the origin story for this whole time.
No, not at all, not at all. But I'm just saying it just
I'm pretty sure Venom will convince Eddie Brock that he's a bad person, and it's the timing's right. The timing is right because Eddie Brock does not know this Peter Parker.
yeah.
He's completely like it's this guy's non-existent in his world. So for him to be like, "Oh, you fought this guy. Oh, he did this, he did that." Like, "Oh, okay, let's take
Mm-hmm.
him down." Because remember, he wants to be the lethal protector. He wants to start being a hero. So he's gonna follow Venom's lead on this and attack Peter Parker because the world thinks he's a bad guy, and so he's gonna start thinking he's a bad guy, and he's gonna think that he's doing the right thing.
Oh well, with the bad guy, with
Do
them framing it
you
that way, maybe.
do you believe that they will try to erase the whole Venom series and just focus on a brand new series with Venom and Spider-Man?
Probably.
And then what
Yeah.
about Morbius?
I'll
I
find
still
out on
think
the next
Morbius is gonna be a
episode.
good movie. I still have high hopes for that
It's
movie.
got plenty of room to make up the gap from Venom to
But
the
but
whatever
wouldn't
splash.
you say that now that this Venom is finally in the MCU and the whole thing happened, Morbius is in the MCU?
Oh yeah, I like that Morbius is in an MCU. Yeah,
Like
I
I
think
No,
I
mean,
he
like
is
Morbius
because of
better
the
than
trailer.
Venom.
no, because he. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
But
where
that
we
explains why we see Michael
Michael Keaton.
Keaton in that trailer. You know, because this is
Mm-hmm.
well, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man though was in the background, but I'm pretty sure they'll have an end credit scene same as Venom, where he's got that flash of light, and now he's in
Yeah, exactly.
that
What I was
universe.
thinking is he'll probably get sent back to his original reality at the end of.
Venom, really?
Well, I mean, are they gonna keep?
No, I don't think so.
They're not gonna keep the fiance. I mean, I guess that was a farewell, but
I
then
think
what
give a
about
fuck
the?
about her.
But what about the who'd you say
Yeah,
toxic or whatever?
toxin. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
that's gonna piss off people though. You
But
know
also,
that's
if he is in a different whatever too, Carnage can come back. So I don't fucking know.
it's fucked up. But I just want it
It
on
is.
record in case I broke this code. I'm 90% positive that is what's gonna happen in No Way Home. We're gonna
It's
get
a
multiple Spider people, but they're all gonna be just Tom Holland.
But
yeah.
I hope you know if you're right, the FBI is going to pretty much like hunt you down and just be like, you cannot ruin the MCU, and our
I
podcast
already
will
know
be
where he
fucking
is.
over.
I already know where he is. We're good.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
I can't wait to see the disappointment on people's face if this is true.
Oh, what, your own
Again,
face?
I still want to be clear though.
Yeah,
I
his
would
face.
still love to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, but I'm not going to get my hopes up for
I
something
just
that
don't know
may
where you
be not realistic.
stand. Like, I mean, I know where you stand about Tom Holland, but like, I just don't know if you're really, really hyped for the Spider-Man movie.
I'm not. I don't want to get hyped. Okay, so you're right. Okay, you're questioning. I am not excited for this Spider-Man movie because of the right reasons. Because of, of we have a good Spider-Man. I don't think this is a good Spider-Man. I don't like the writing behind this MCU Spider-Man. I like Tom Holland, but despite what Ham thinks, I like Tom Holland. I just don't think they justified this Spider-Man. I don't think they established his upbringing into this character. I hate that he has help every single fucking second of his movies. Like it's frustrating that I don't get the Spider-Man that I grew up with. And maybe this is a Spider-Man that, the kids these days are growing up with, and that's what they've always been representative of. Whatever. I just don't think that's the core of Spider-Man. And I said Homecoming was a pointless movie. Far From Home was way better, but that's also not saying much because they still fucked it up with the Iron Man scene. And then No Way Home is just like a fucking mess because they're trying to cram all these villains. And we already said this, they have a track record for cramming villains into a movie. So I'm going to see this movie regardless because I'm an idiot and I'm going to see the first show impossible. I'm not getting my hopes up. I don't even have any high expectations. I don't have low expectations, but I'm definitely not having any high expectations. And I'm just gonna see what they give me. And if I'm right, fuck you, Sony. If I'm wrong, still fuck you because
Sony.
you haven't fixed anything.
Well, this is a therapy section of 101 with Sal.
All right.
2 months.
Yeah,
Man, 2 more months, buddy. 2 more months. Would you say that Spider-Man?
We should go see the first showing and then have an immediate live recording right after.
Yeah, you would like that, wouldn't you? I don't know when.
Let's do
December?
it. Let's
I don't
plan
know.
it.
I wouldn't mind. We should record it while we're watching the movie.
Exclusive right here on the podcast.
We
listeners.
should
You heard
record
it
the
here
movie.
first.
Yeah.
we should talk while the movie's going on.
Yeah. That's
We
what
should
Mike said. Yeah, Mike said we're doing it.
We're done with this conversation. We'll revisit it when the next trailer comes out. And from here on out, let's just we're gonna skip the synopsis trivia. Let's just say Ham won. And
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Well,
Like
fuck
always.
And
What do you think
Mike,
about Black Cat?
do that thing that you're supposed to do that that you always fuck up on. That you're you know that thing.
Oh, fuck my bills. Guys, follow us on Drunk Cop and the Teacher on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and probably maybe MySpace or whatever that shit is.
Mhm.
And write us an email, drunk cop and drunk cop
Dot
Dot.
a teacher.
at a teacher. Wait, fuck.
Drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com.
Drunk cop dot.
We already said it. We're good. You're covered. You covered. They heard it.
Fuck, I was on a roll. I forgot what's the email again.
Maybe
Oh,
you should
man.
write into it.
Oh man,
All right.
the multiverse.
Next episode may or may not be James Bond. May or may not just be Ham talking about James Bond.
007.
I will attempt to watch it, even though I don't care for it. We'll see.
Just watch
Um,
something on YouTube. Just a quick recap.
I probably might do the quick recap and then after watch the movie and then after that watch the whole entire James Bond series.
If you can find me a 5-minute version recap, then I'm all for it.
Mm.
Jesus Christ, really?
All right. And any last goodbyes? Anything? Final words, gentlemen?
Tasty.
The fuck?
With great power,
God.
something reliability. Yeah.
With great drunken power comes with great drunken reliability.
Yeah,
Might just
with
end it
great
at that one.
drinks gets you great drugs. I don't fucking know.